Good morning, sir. Today we are going to present the presentation Entrepreneur's Profile Vincent and Yioun. We are Group 18. Introduction. Entrepreneur activities is a preference for creativity and improvement in current system and for the status quo. A mindset consists of a group of perceptions, procedures, or formulas written by one or more users or groups of people so developed that within these individuals or groups, it provides a strong incentive to continue adopting or accepting previous behaviors, decisions, or instruments. A true mindset can cope with the rapidly changing economy. For example, Vincent is a wealthy entrepreneur who has been known as a Malaysian Chinese founder and merchant. Entrepreneur background name uh, Vincent is a successful entrepreneur and investor in Malaysia. He was raised of Chinese in Malaysia and he was 68 years old in 2020. Batu Pahat, Johor, Malaysia is his birthplace and he birthed in February 1952. He was come from lower income family. After Vincent dropped out from high school at 1968, he was get a job as a bank clerk. While Vincent was an insurance agent in 1973, he was reading an article about McDonald's burgers while he was waiting for a client one day. Time magazine article about McDonald's burgers, which is the burger that conquered the world. The spirit entrepreneur of Vincent was raised up. He was writing a lot of letters to the McDonald's. Finally, Vincent sincerely impressed McDonald's and he was obtained the franchise of McDonald's in Malaysia in December 1980. Then Vincent has a desire to develop another business besides McDonald's franchise business. Vincent was got the highest profit from the McDonald's business and used his foresight buying majority interest in Berjaya Industrial Berhad. Eventually, the company was renamed as Berjaya Corporate Berhad. After that, Vincent expanded the business until nowadays.
Next is company background. Berjaya Corporation Berhad is known as Berjaya Group Berhad. It founded in 1984 and until now is 36 years. On 3rd January of 2006, B Corp joined the main board of Bursa Securities as a public firm of Berjaya Group Berhad. Real estate, gambling, stock brokerage, manufacturing, trading, utilities, insurance, and telecommunication and others are very narrow included in the Berjaya Company Berhad sector. There are around 16,000 of employees under Berjaya Corporation Berhad. Logo company composed of blue progress and the emblem is composed of 4 greens B facing outwards, surrounded by green with a blue layer on it and a blue dot in the middle. Berjaya in the logo, it means success in Malay, which represent the success and features of Malaysia core company Berjaya Corporation. Each B faces a different direction reflecting the shift in the change of business that make up the community. Vision and Mission Company. Vision Company is to be an organization which nature and careers on profitable and sustainable business in line with group deserve business development and value creation aspiration and interest of all its stakeholders. To be an organization which maximize the value of human capital through empowerment, growth, and commitment to excellence. Next is Mission Company. Shift to generate profitable returns for our shareholders from investment in core business activities by providing direction, financial resource, and management support for each operating unit. Through dynamic and innovative management, teamwork, and a commitment to excellence, and by providing a cross-functional environment and development and upscaling opportunity for our employees to develop their full potential for both personal and professional advancement. Here are the subsidiaries company from Berjaya Corporation Berhad: Berjaya Land Berhad, Berjaya Food Berhad, Berjaya Sports, Toto Berhad, and Red Tone. Next, here is the related companies to Berjaya Corporation Berhad. Bermas Auto Berhad 7-Eleven, Berjaya Asset Berhad.
The entrepreneur before starting the venture working experience. Vincent began employment as a bank clerk. He found another job as work as an insurance agent of American International Insurance Company (AIA). When he was 21 years old, he was very earnest and successfully promoted to the youngest agency manager. He was 25 years old. He became a sales manager in the American International Insurance Company (AIA). Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, Nelson Mandela, Lee Kuan Yew, and Warren Buffett is the role model for Vincent Tan Chee Yong. Dr. Mahathir Mohamad and Tan Lan Hui, who is his father, are the same years old, and they are also an obstinate person. Nelson Mandela became his role model because Nelson Mandela is a person that tried to end apartheid, which is a legal system that ensures white and black people in South Africa. Next is Lee Kuan Yew. He developed Singapore, a small country, into a developed country and a rapidly growing economy in recent years. His ability has made significant progress, especially in the country's administration and economic progress. Last is Warren Buffett. He already started to earn money when he was 6 years old. Intention of being an entrepreneur. When he was 21 years old, he has an agent and a dream to decide to open McDonald's franchise in the whole of Malaysia when he read the burger that covered the world from Time magazine. He begins to write letters to McDonald's and hoping that McDonald's would accept his idea, but unfortunately, the letters were not legal by McDonald's, but he still kept composing the letter to McDonald's for almost 6 years, until 1979, and Vincent Tan was 27 years old. McDonald finally answered to him and welcomed him to take an interest in the opening of Singapore's first McDonald, and McDonald acknowledged his relentless and persistent attitude. He makes a deal with McDonald and acquired a franchise for 25 sorry. 255 ringgit and has 55% of his share. Finally, he was opening McDonald's franchise for the first time in Kuala Lumpur, where its Jalan Bukit Bintang was in Malaysia. Next. Entrepreneurial activity. When he was 30 years old, he finally opened McDonald's franchise in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. When he was 32 years old, he acquired 37.8 shares in Berjaya Industrial Berhad, and he started to make a more significant change in his business direction. He also acquired 70% share of the Unilight Electrical Industrial Berhad when Unilight Electrical Industrial was provided in 1985, and he became Unilight Electrical Industrial Turiga Pacific Berhad's subsidiary. He also established in Berjaya Land Berhad to perform a restructuring plan carried out by Fast East Asset Berhad in 1990. He founded Red International Berhad, which operates communication service related to data, broadband, voice, and network security service, and Red International Berhad became a part of Berjaya Corporation Berhad in 2005. Vincent Tan Chee Yong began opening country fund organic Berjaya Times Square, Berjaya Bookstore Sendirian Berhad, Berjaya Pharmacy Sendirian Berhad, Escort Sendirian Berhad, Causeway Malaysia, and eCauseway.com Sendirian.
The next is the motivation Tan Sri Vincent Tan to start out his business. In the history that we know, he is born in a low-income families, and he started his work after passing out of his high school. He got a good business idea where he across an article of McDonald's burgers, and he started dreaming to open a McDonald's franchise in Malaysia. He is motivated to become a successful businessman to write the letter to the company that sharing about his idea about opening McDonald's franchise in Malaysia. Although the company always ignored his letter, but he kept writing the 5 years letter to the company, which can opening the first outlet McDonald's in Malaysia. After 2 years, he signed agreement with McDonald's headquarters staff and he used the money from the business to buy a controlling stake in Berjaya Industrial Berhad. Nowadays, Tan Sri Vincent is known as he is a successful investor and businessman in Malaysia. The goals when Tan Sri Vincent set out his business, he's not be focused the development business that he interests but is profitable. He's according that he can try everything that can earning chance and make more profit in his business although he needs to sacrifice something. This all to do by the entrepreneur because to generate consistently profitable to returns to our shareholders from the investment in business activities. The resources that were available before Tan Sri Vincent Tan to start out his business. First, he start his plan when he sold his asset as his flagship Berjaya Corporate Berhad. At the time, his group in the mindset about of selling a deal to sell Four Seasons Hotel and Hotel Residence Kyoto is about 700 billion US dollar to 800 billion US dollar. After he's clarified to sell his hotel in Kyoto and Berjaya Corporation can buy the 7-Eleven Malaysia holdings. The controlling of Tan Sri Vincent Tan at early stage of business. After graduating from his high school, Vincent Tan started to work due to his family financial situation. He started working as a clerk in bank. In 1973, well, the article named The Burger That Conquered the World attracted him. So he opened his mind and began to write the McDonald's, but no one admired. However, he did not give up the continue and write again to 5 or 6 years. At the time, he is appointed to as the insurance company's senior sales manager. In 1979, he received a reply from McDonald's invite him to attend the first restaurant in Singapore. In 1982, he opened the first McDonald's branch in Jalan Bukit Bintang in KL. Okay, next. He faced two risks when he started his business. The first is the financial crisis, is that any situation suddenly lose a large part in their nominal value in business. Thus, Vincent faced the challenge that period when he started building the Berjaya Times Square in Kuala Lumpur. When Vincent Tan faced his financial problem, he will try to do his best to overcome, but it worked with the bankers. The second is the competitors. When entrepreneurs make their product or service stand in the market, they should know who is their competitors and what are they offering to attract the consumer to increase the business. Many entrepreneurs use the strategy of SWOT is known as strengths, weakness, opportunities, and tricks that can used by the competitor. The competitors of Berjaya Group had the first is the CCL Industry Incorporated. It's very competing in Berjaya Group because it provides a specialty packing to the home care, food and beverage, healthcare, appear and specialty market that can interest the consumer. And second is Sam Dabai, has the service involved pension, popularly industrial, motor and logistics.
Next is the business plan of Tan Sri Vincent Tan. In 2003, he opened Berjaya Times Square in Kuala Lumpur. It is a 48-story with twin towers with the hotels, apartment, indoor amusement park, and shopping center. Soon another hotel begins to rise, forming hotel chains all over the world. In 2005, he founded Berjaya Book Sdn Berhad, which now runs the partner both chains. Bajaj Pharmacy and its subsidiary Bajaj Pharmacy Retail is another two important retail stores of the group. In October 2009, he established Bajaj Food Berhad. In December, he completed the Sandam of Courseware M and eCourseware.com Berhad. Escalator subsequently changed its name Courseware Corporate Limited. However, it's not become a wholly owned subsidiary of Bajaj Corporate Berhad until 2012. In 2010, he acquired Sport Better Operator Sport Sanyam Berhad for $163.9 million from August or September. It will operate in 680 total sports stores nationwide, but on October 5, the audience withdrew the license pending Sport Better in Malaysia. Prepared or not when the dancer Vincent start up his business. Dancer Vincent prepared to start up his business and have motivated to operate a good business idea after he caused an article about McDonald's business, and this movement made he start dreaming of opening a McDonald's franchise in Malaysia. To achieve his goals, he write many times later to the company of McDonald's eventually to open the first McDonald's outlet in Malaysia. Although the headquarters of staff of the company always ignored him, but he still insists on write 5 years of the letter to the McDonald's headquarters. In the letter, Tanzania Vincent looked forward about the futures of Malaysia, of McDonald's, and give his many time and plans to the company if he starts operate the first franchise in Malaysia. After 2 years, the headquarters staff of the McDonald's signed the agreement with him that agreed to open the first McDonald's franchise in Malaysia. This is the Tanzania Vincent how to start up his business with the McDonald's. In conclusion, what we can learn from the Tanzania Vincent is learn from mistake and improve it, become better. We must make up your minds to propose your dream and don't give up easily because there will be ways to obstacles and setbacks along the way. For example, Tanzania Vincent have McDonald's franchise. He always do not give up. Writes many letters to the McDonald's headquarters were rejected by many times. He always believed that he can success to open branches of McDonald's in Malaysia. Master English is very important because English is the language of business and business. For example, he must write letters in English to smooth explanations and correct data about McDonald's can development in Malaysia to McDonald's headquarters with its the Chicago, America. The key to success of Tanzania Vincent in this business, Tanzania Vincent has a good time competency, which is he used the brilliant way to bring the McDonald's franchise business into Malaysia. Although previously he was rejected by many times by the McDonald's headquarters, but he never give up and believed until one day he has the franchise to open McDonald's business in Kuala Lumpur. Nowadays, McDonald's is development rapidly and well known in Malaysia because it has opened many branches in Malaysia. The key of Tanzania Vincent to success in his business is a proactive to bring the McDonald's brand into Malaysia. Wherever he writes many letters to McDonald's headquarters and rejected, but he still never give up and believe until one day he can successful to bringing McDonald's brands into Malaysia. Vincent also has the characteristic of the versatility. Before that, he just started working as a salesman after he graduated from high school Batu Bata, and then he changed runs to open McDonald's franchise in Malaysia. In 1984, he obtained to controlling stake in Berjaya Corporation. Perhaps after that, he broke Sport Toto in 1985 when the lottery agency was privately owned by the government. In May 2010, Dancery Vincent was acquiring the Crafty City Club, Football Club, became the owner. Dancery Vincent was steering in every business and he has the diversity his business in words industry because he was a very versatile person and all this has been seen from his business development. That's all for me. Thank you.